very gassy today. Huh?
No, it's not gas.
Is it not gas?
No,
What
it's
is
like
it?
dust.
It's dust. Did you like eat a lot of dust today?
No, you feel like sometimes you like cough, but there's nothing there. Like a dry cough.
I cough occasionally. On occasion, I've been known to cough.
I only do it around old people though.
You only what?
Like,
Because all like
it's a choice.
No, because they're like their perfume, not perfume. Their powder makeup is like a dust cloud.
old people just fucking smell, man. Just in
Sometimes like a
general,
lot. Well, yeah, I've been to many retirement homes, and yeah,
Fucking.
it's like could be, yeah, it could be like really powerful, or it could be like, oof. But then people are like that too, because they go to homes all the time now. Casey knows that. They go to homes all the time.
Yeah, you guys go into a lot of
And-
people's homes.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes like
Various
woo!
services. Yeah. Man,
Sometimes it's like woo.
So
Other times
I-
it's like woo.
Usually it's bad.
we took our old like roommates kind of spot. Like I did. I moved out there and stuff, and like I remember going down there like originally and like leading handyman down there and stuff. And I'm just like, if I knew someone was coming over, like I'd be scrubbing the place. But like when you open that door and you're hit with like the like the
It's a sweat. It's usually just a sweat.
Yeah, when
smell.
you
yeah, you gotta
Roblox
change your
oof.
fucking sheets. Yeah.
Yeah.
When a smell makes you Roblox oof, you
It's
know
always
it's very
just that.
fucking bad.
That's
yeah.
why I've learned to not make my bed in the morning, because then you're sealing it in. Because the old way you used
Yeah.
to do
Is
it
that true?
was the person of the house would have taken the clothes off, and then they would actually dry it out.
Yeah.
In Europe, they dry it out every
Really?
day.
But what
so
do you-
now we have a thing which is make your bed every day, so you sweat out all night. You get up, you seal it back in immediately,
Holy
and it's just
shit.
sweaty. You need to air it out. So I purposely do not make my bed in the morning. I'm airing that shit out because it's worse keeping that shit in.
Fuck parents telling you to fucking make your bed. Fuck them.
No, it's literally.
But yeah, no,
it
no, I
used to
see
be a
that,
thing
yeah.
because it's nice when you get home. You're like,
kinda
oh,
wanna
they make their
start-
bed, but it's literally keep it open, get a window open, let it dry out.
I kind of want to start doing that because I don't use the dryer. I hang dry my stuff, and I need to get like an actual line, so that I could probably do.
Well, I'm
that
saying
on
like
the
when you wake
fucking-
up, you take a shit, you get out of bed.
Number one, yeah.
Take a shit, you get out of bed, and then you leave it open.
Well, in a different order than
yeah,
that, but
no, I take a shit, get out of bed, take a call,
Yeah, you got
In
to
the
air it
bathroom.
out.
but you got to air it out. You have to literally air it out, or you're literally sealing it in because
Sealing
you're
in
not
your
going to
gunk.
smell it.
Yeah.
You're not going to smell
everyone
it at
else
all.
will.
Yeah, because they'll walk
Yeah.
in, they're like, "Hey man, that's a new video game playing." And you go, "Woo!"
So
and then they walk out faster than you thought they would.
So-
yeah.
this is a pretty good system though for rating stuff. Like, what sort of role playing game systems? Which of the systems? Which ones are airing it out? Which ones are sealing it in?
Sealing it in.
What?
You know,
Describe the
D&D.
criteria.
I think the more they seem like fifth edition. Fifth edition when it first came out, I was like, wow, this is airing it out pretty well. At this point, it's pretty sealed in. And then they're looking at the whole.
It's rotting. You're
The
saying it's
one
rotting 'cause it's
D&D
sealed in.
I
think it's sealing in harder.
I have no idea.
I think
what
Casey
you're
is describing
talking
the
about.
concepts instead of like when it first started. It felt like there was a lot of potential, and then now D&D 1 is feeling like nothing's changing, even when the blanket's over. It's not being aired
In fact,
out.
I mean,
it's all
their
boring
whole
and
thing was to
rehashed.
pass litigation to get everyone to have to seal it in.
You know what?
Everyone's like, we're gonna air it out.
I think you should cook on that a little more. I think you should let that cook a little more.
You don't want to be cooking these.
We'll talk about which systems aired out or sealed in. I'm gonna do the plugs really quick. Did you guys have anything else you needed to plug right now, or am I just gonna do the normal?
Like an outlet.
Oh, he gets it now.
All right.
He gets it now. We can connect with that.
You can connect. It's another thing you can do with an outlet.
You
Talking?
have no idea what we're
Talking.
talking about.
I don't.
Yeah, he does. He's just talking about basic concepts. This is not even this is a basic concept.
concepts.
All right, but really quick.
Come on,
quick
man,
plugs.
air it out.
So my role playing game is out. Track marks. Buy it. Bylecosmo.com. BYLECOSMO.com. Also, you can donate to the podcast. Go to wrongroom.net. Actually, right now, I'm transferring the domain over to WordPress, and they're taking 60 billion years. So there is a temporary address or an alternate address that'll stay up after this. So it's either wrongroom.net or wrongroompod.com.
So, like,
you can go there too.
www or
Yeah.
is it HTTP?
HTTPS:// www.wrongroom.net.
Is it together? I thought it was either or.
Either what or?
I thought it was like HTTP, then the website like Bad Dragon.
Right.
.net.
What do you mean?
You're
either
saying
or?
you're saying it's HTTP.
S.
Then it's www. It's www. It's not either or.
You can
has to
literally
be
just
together.
type wrongroom.net in the browser and it'll get you
You
there.
got mad at me for doing that with Bad Dragon.
That's not. Well,
You-
that's
I-
no.
Literally.
No.
You did.
That
I
was
really
over.
did.
That episode was back in fucking July, and for some
And it was
reason, everyone
just
keeps
reviewed.
talking about that. I mean, I know that you had just listened to it. I know other people had been listening to it. That's a different.
No.
The actual URL is wrongroom.net. You don't just go, oh, well, it's called The Wrong Room. I'm going to go to thewrongroom.com.
I would.
That's how you get a virus.
Wait, so it's the wrong room dash.
Wrongroom.net.
Where's
no,
the dash?
There's no dash. You know, I try to make the plug part take like 30 seconds, and then you all say some stupid shit.
You
that
can
makes
type
it-
whatever you want in the search bar, and something's going to come up eventually.
Something will happen.
That's what's amazing.
Oops, wrong room.
The internet.
The internet is fucking incredible.
Like in the old days,
Yeah.
you could walk through the forest, walking for days, still forest.
It's
Wait,
also,
so
You
it's
go
a-
on the internet. Whoa.
So it's a WordPress, so it's not wrong room WordPress.
well, I switched the domain. No, because I just switched the domain registrar over to WordPress because I was tired. I don't want to use Google anything anymore. So, but for some reason, Google's dragging their fucking feet. Hey, if any of you listen to if any of you who are listening out there work at Google, fuck you. Do your goddamn job. But yeah, no.
Make
like, it
better
won't,
cat pictures.
Make better cat pictures.
Because I'm running out of words to describe cats that I want to see doing cool stuff.
They got the cat think tank.
Yeah.
They just have like a team of 8 engineers that just still makes Icon has cheeseburger tier like cat memes all day.
You ever seen the well, you don't watch the Twitter anymore, but there's Twitter called Cats with Jobs. It's like the best one.
Oh yeah, no, my boyfriend's on that. I think I've seen that before.
He's on that.
He's on that.
He's
It's
on
funny
that.
because I said that. I fucking hate it when people say they're like, "Oh, I'm online with this person." It's like, no, you're not. Stop
You
making
mean
it
like
sound
a-
like your friends.
A
dog. Like,
parasocial thing.
yeah, parasocial stuff is like, man,
Okay.
I'm really excited to get like for us to get like stalked.
Yeah. Wait.
Whoa.
Wrong room. HTTP.
Okay, right now it's wrongroom.net or
Okay.
wrongroompod.com. Both work, but in the future I won't be saying the .com one, but it'll still work. So either one
It still
will work
works.
right now.
Even
Um,
when he stops saying it, it
He'll-
just
he
doesn't
can still
cease
go.
to function.
It doesn't
It
cease
still
to
works.
function. Correct. It still works, but wrongroom.net's the one I'll be saying once the domain goes over, once Google stops dragging their feet. But
Because nothing but net.
we are also
this
going to
none of
be.
it does.
We are also going to be. You can't just listen to all of our back episodes and just start making references. You can't do that. You know what? Do another one. Do another one right now.
Careen through these
What was
ideas,
that a
Casey.
reference to?
No, there's another
See,
one.
he's doing it more than I am. I'm listening
I-
right
Maybe
now.
I'm more sensitive
was
to it
one.
because I listen to every single one.
Me too.
Maybe you're just more.
Very
You're just
carefully.
more sensitive overall. That's like
Ooh.
every episode.
Fuck you, man.
Ah.
What the
See?
hell? What?
Dude, you got it's me. Usually it's me. In
We
the
are
background.
not even past
It's
the
me
plugs
in the
yet.
corner.
Exactly. If you weren't,
me in the spotlight.
if you weren't so voraciously reactive to everything, you'd already be through the plugs. You're the only thing holding you
I
back.
have to stop because you guys keep talking over
Dude,
me.
one of my
and I wanna,
favorite
like-
is still when Casey brings up the thesaurus because I thought I picked it up, but it was Jimmy that did it faster than me. Where he goes, whoa, wait. He literally stops the brakes because when he said my mind's a thesaurus,
Yeah.
you immediately caught him. I was thinking about it, but your brain was faster. You're like, no, bitch, go backwards.
Go backwards, bitch.
I don't ever go back.
I like that. That was my favorite.
That was really good.
Questions.
No, man. So, oh my god. All right. One last thing, and this will be announced in future episodes. If you subscribe to our podcast for $4 a month, there will be a bonus episode. You'll have access to all our bonus episodes. They might be monthly or bi-monthly, but the point is you have to subscribe to get access to all of them. And the future ones, we're going to be doing an actual play of a Burning Wheel campaign, modeled somewhat off of Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser, the Fritz Lieber stuff, but that's subject to change. You'll hear all about. There'll be free episodes. It'll be our character creation session and our first actual session. And then after that, it's $4 a month for those bonus episodes. Otherwise, you still get 2 every month. But if you want your questions to be answered on the podcast and stuff. You could donate. Again, wrongroom.net, wrongroompod.com.
Read it on Kindle.
Read it on Kindle.
Yeah.
We're on like every streaming service now, except Apple.
Oh,
Apple's a fucking
I've
pain
been really
to
sad
get
that
shit
people
on.
haven't been reacting to my transcript comments. I mean, I have the blog up all this time. And
Your transcript comments?
yeah, no, there's transcripts of every one of our podcasts, and I go through and I add comments and added,
Are you for real right now?
Flash function.
Have you actually been doing that?
URLs.
No.
That would be fucking hilarious.
That
We went
would
in and
be. That'd be
sabotaged
great.
our
I
own
would-
captions.
Never believe with that with Casey is who he is now.
Oh,
Never.
who I am
He
now?
would
Who am
never
I?
Do that.
Who am I?
You would never give yourself the time to do that
Yep.
at this point.
No.
No
Yeah.
way. Even beforehand.
Sounds really boring.
He does
Dude,
what
you're
he
too,
does.
You're too busy. You're too famous.
Too busy, too
Too
famous.
famous.
He would even beforehand. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be.
Oh, one last thing, I guess. I didn't realize, but Buzzsprout has options for us to add info for ourselves as like hosts.
Oh.
If you want to do that, we can like put up our headshots and put in info, or if you think that's stupid, we can not do that.
My
Could
I
you
just
like
figured
put
it
up a
shows up
picture,
that
Shrek?
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Not
You
like
could
a
do that.
good one.
Oh,
like,
we could meme. Yeah,
I want
we
you
could
to
do
put up a
whatever we
picture of
want.
Shrek that like it makes you uncomfortable to look at. for,
Yeah, we
like,
could do that.
more
For
than
you?
3
You
or
want that to
4
be you?
seconds. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, all
cool.
right.
I know mine. I have a plugin for my socials. It's Mia Khalifa /baddragon.net.
Can you imagine if Mia Khalifa came out with like a collab with Bad Dragon? What would they even fucking look like? Did they just mold her pussy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just be like
And
it'd
then
be like,
but it's a cat's
but it's a
pussy?
cat. Yeah, it would have to be like it would have to be an animal. I agree. It would have to be just an animal. Like this is the person you
Meow
like.
Khalifa.
Mia!
Dude, I don't want to get into what I talked about before.
What?
You can't name the episode that.
Why not? You can't fucking stop me. Do you have the login, motherfucker? You ain't got shit. You ain't got nothing without
It's like a
me.
nostalgic episode accidentally of like it's like the end of a year.
Everyone
accidentally.
keeps
This is
talking
our-
about that.
This is our clip show.
I'm on Discord with like 3 of the people who actually listen to our podcast, and they bring
Sad.
it up all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Sad?
Yeah.
What?
What's sad about it?
It's listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We should probably continue talking about role-playing games. You were talking about things being sealed in.
No, but nostalgic.
What's Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nostalgic, but it's like a month old.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
the
was
Bad
such
Dragon
good times.
Episode. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good episode. It's our second most listened to episode. We actually
That's crazy.
Not only the second episode we record today will be our 40th episode.
Whoa.
We also guaranteed, because we're at like 996 listens, so we're about to hit 1,000 as well. So we're hitting milestones. So, and that Burning Wheel episode is still it's like 270 listens now, which is why I want to make more like that and then charge money for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear that.
No, I was like whispering, so they can't.
Oh, yeah, I have an anti-whisper button.
Oh.
Yeah, you should use you do use that every time I whisper stuff, right? Just to
No.
make sure. Well, that's a problem.
I forgot.
Well, I gotta go back and
I had the button. I
Edit
didn't
some
use
stuff.
it for that last part. I wasn't listening.
I gotta go back and edit a lot of episodes.
I
then.
wasn't listening. So,
If you play the whispers backwards, you can hear Jimmy do he does all the plugs correctly.
it was us though. It's not him doing the plugs wrong.
You know what? We should just talk about role playing games.
No way.
We're already almost 15 minutes in.
Oh my god.
I'm tired
This
of
is the
talking about these
longest
plugins.
15
I'm about to
minutes.
fucking kill both of you.
Oh, what kind of role playing games?
Well, you were talking about things that are. What is the most? All right. I do not want to contextualize at all
Sure.
what you meant by a game that's sealed in or a game that's aired out.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, without explaining, what's the most sealed in game?
The most sealed in
Yeah.
Clue.
Is Clue a
RPG?
role playing game?
I mean, it kind of
I
is.
guess it kind of is, isn't it?
It's kind of everyone's first role playing
No one
game in a
plays
way.
it as that, right? I haven't
is
played Clue in
kinda.
forever.
You can't
Can
help but the first time you play Clue, pretend that you're the murderer or a detective mentally.
Is that how that
I
works?
feel like
Pretty
no
sure.
one does that. I feel like outside of like our groups where we actually role play, no one does any of that.
I feel like social deduction games are kind of like a normie being forced to role play sort of board game, like Secret Hitler, or like Deception or Mysterium. Or
I tried to role play in Secret Hitler and they told me to shut up.
That makes
well,
sense.
how were you role playing, Matt?
All right.
What do you
What
mean?
I was like, I'm not the Nazi. No way.
Nine, it's not me.
And then eventually I got, yeah, dude, I'm the fascist.
Yeah.
Get me. And they weren't happy about me playing what I was.
There's this yeah. That's kind of a tough. That's an okay game. It's a good entryway into like social deduction games, but man, it is like eventually you stop worrying about the rules, and then the flavor gets really like, you know.
Well, it's usually vendetta because after you play the first time, it's I know who lies well.
I know who the liars are,
and so I'm going to try to do that. But then they lie in a certain way, so you can't trust their own lie.
Poor fucking jerks. We love social deduction games, and he's like the best at them, so we just always assume he's lying.
That's what it ends up
And what
being.
sucks is that he always proves us right. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like when we go, you know what? You're right. We shouldn't be voting on him just because it's him, and it turns out he's lying the whole time.
You try to 4D chess, but then because of that, you're usually letting off the gas or whatever.
Yeah.
When you should just be actually believing what you're saying.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's fucking trash. We've been running this the Thing adaptation relatively recently.
What? That's cool.
For its social deduction game, and it's really, really fucking good. I think it's the best social deduction game we've played yet. But I've got a couple more, but like I've got ones that are like the box is enormous and there's like cubes involved. And,
really?
Yeah.
You've already played it? You open up the box?
I have not yet. I have to learn
so that
it
one
before
that one's sealed.
That one couldn't be more
around.
sealed.
Yeah.
It really couldn't be more sealed. Yeah.
Wait, so you haven't played it, or haven't played this?
No,
version?
I haven't played it yet because I have to open it and run through some games to teach it because it's kind of a complicated.
But it's a
one.
board game, right?
It's a board game.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like a Clue,
we've been
hardcore
going-
Clue, huh?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically. I mean, what we're talking about. I mean, it's interesting because we in our big Monday group in the group I've been running for a really long time. We actually have taken a break. We've only been playing Magic and board games. We've been playing a shitload of board games.
Wow.
Yeah,
and people, I didn't realize because like it was Jergs in particular who came up and was like, "Oh, thank fucking God!" And I'm like, you could have just told me you wanted to take a break from my role playing games, right? Yeah. I guess that would be my game. It'd be a social deduction game I haven't opened yet. That's pretty sealed, ain't it?
Oh God, I forgot we're theming as something.
Pretty sealed.
Yeah.
Pretty sealed. So your game, you literally like vacuum sealed. You're literally saying.
I mean, I guess so. He went with because you seal cards from the game in the envelope. I'm assuming. I went with vacuum sealed.
He's just saying because there's not much mechanics. Is my assumption. There's not much. The ideas are self-imposed.
Okay, I gave you an example of sealed.
Right.
Magic the Gathering. Air it out.
That makes
Wait, you're saying air it out?
Fucking sense.
Air it out?
Makes perfect sense.
No, I get it, but you're saying air it out as in of past, present, or future.
It fits in the air it out category.
Okay, he's saying that the mechanics constantly change.
Yeah.
Interesting. In a good way or a bad way, though?
No. He's not. He's neutral.
Depends.
He's
that
neutral.
depends.
He's saying in a neutral way.
It depends all on its context. Sometimes you need to seal something in, but if something's rotten in there, you're sealing it in wrong.
Oh, but then what if? But so can air it out be bad too?
Airing it out could be bad too.
It's just a motherfucker making it up and changing all the rules and all this shit. And that's okay.
Oh yeah, tons of games have aired it out and then ruined them.
Yeah, I've done that personally many times.
Yeah. Clue is. He's saying the concept of Clue hasn't changed. It's always Clue. But Magic can, because they keep adding concepts and changing it with whatever they want to do. It's always changing.
I see. Okay, I see. You're because I would say Burning Wheel is sealed in for that reason, but in a good way. Because it's all a very contained, very specific.
No matter what you're doing,
ecosystem.
it's still Burning Wheel. Yeah, it's not. You're not adding mechanics to Burning Wheel.
Yeah,
like Kingdom, similar. You're doing the same thing, but different concepts.
Are you still going?
Air it out.
Air it out.
Burning Wheel.
No.
Air it out.
No.
Yep.
Now I'm fucking lost.
Yep.
Now I'm fucking lost.
Are you saying the concepts are
because
distinct enough?
Right now you're working off one qualifier. That's a good qualifier. It's a good one. It's not the only one though.
You're saying that the concepts are different enough to which you run Burning Wheel games.
Burning Wheel.
Because there's the dog game, Dogs and Spiders we talked about before that we never ran. That's a whole different concept of playing it.
Yeah.
Is that
what Dogs in the Vineyard?
No. Remember we earlier talked about the Wolf and Spiders of a Burning Wheel game.
Oh,
you can be Wolf or Spiders.
Yep.
Yeah, you can be.
Air it out.
No. So here's what I'll say. I think Sealed In is different games but the same mechanics.
Then give an example.
I will in a fucking second. Well, how about you be patient? And I can give you.
Right now,
I would say D&D is you're airing it out because it's the same game. But it's like different mechanics, right? Because it's like when you're playing something like here's another example of sealed in would be Shadowrun. Shadowrun is a really specific system.
Very
it's really
specific.
complex. Everything's baked into it, but you can play a bunch of different types of games with it. Whereas with D&D, you're usually just dungeon crawling. You're usually just kicking down doors and stuff.
The
but
essence
historically,
is the same.
the essence is the same,
Yeah.
but people are playing it. Or to get to that point, people are taking wildly different approaches to the mechanics.
Yeah.
That these other games are like, no, you can't take other approaches to these mechanics. You just have to do it this way.
Yeah, I see it. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
You like that?
Yeah,
Put that in your pipe and smoke
in
it.
essence, it's
Put that in
always
your
the
dick
same.
and suck it.
In essence, it's always the same. And forcing outer mechanics would be against the airing in or airing out because it's not inherent.
I'd
fifth
take
edition.
Jimmy's argument and I'd air it out.
I agree with you, Matt.
I'd
but-
take Jimmy's entire argument and air it out.
You know what? I think you're just being contrarian just to be contrarian.
Wait,
I'm just a big clipping fan, man.
I'm gonna keep trying to translate.
Air
Air
it
it
out.
out, let him breathe. Air it out, set the fire, air out.
I can keep translating concepts because I'm like the medium.
You're
right
doing
now.
pretty well so far. Jimmy's been lost.
just
but
say-
you guided him
Fucking
by the hand.
goddamn
Let me
it!
just say I have a pattern brain, above average pattern brain.
Yep.
Above average
And like
pattern brain.
everything is obviously connected to. No, I've got to stop. It's obviously all connected.
the hell
So-
is this? Whose is this?
Casey brought it. I don't know. It came out of his
Can I
ass.
have some?
Italian brandy. Yes,
to
you
the
can,
coffee?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, you want to do like the Irish coffee?
Yeah.
as long as you give me
You
some
put brandy?
coffee.
I'll give you some. I'll pour out that.
Is brandy? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like a booze, but is brandy specifically
Brandy.
an Irish coffee?
She's
thing?
a fine
Can
girl.
be.
What a good wife she would be.
I don't know that
Is it a
song.
song?
But my
It is.
making that up.
love, my
He's making it up.
lady.
His cadence is way
I
off.
wish that I had Jesse's
is
girl.
the sea.
Na, Jesse's girl.
Is it from Jesse's Girl?
Wow, man, you should be a
Jesse's girl.
singer.
Excuse me. I got it back. There
I mean,
you go.
I actually am planning on. I'm talking to people about doing a heavy metal cover band.
Whoa.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Do it.
I'm gonna do it. I have to get comfortable singing publicly first, so that'll be fun. Cause I haven't really done that yet.
What about privately? Are you scared to sing privately?
No, I'm not.
What about pubically?
Pubically?
Yeah.
That's what you do. You sing with your dick, man.
You could probably. I don't want it to just. Yeah, it's raining.
Yeah.
Right there.
Whoa.
What?
No, because of a leak.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right, now we're moving.
Now
we
we're
got the flow.
we're at oh god, we're only at 22 minutes. This is horrible.
I have so many things I,
thought
can talk about.
well, start talking.
No.
You should
want
start
to talk
talking.
about airing it out.
This is our
airing it in, and now
Letting
you guys
it breathe.
And the same thing. You guys worry
Listen,
about the runtime.
I feel like we've been airing it out. We got to seal it in quick.
Okay, now we need to seal it in.
Yeah, we're warm up is over. We gotta fucking actually talk about shit now. I don't even know where the hell all that talk was going. Like I don't even know what the
I don't know what you expected. You kept digging, and I just wanted to watch you shovel.
I don't know about you, but I take this podcast very seriously. I've been trying to add a format to this, and you guys are like, no.
That makes sense because
Anarchy.
Anarchy. You bullshit. Yeah, I know. Jimmy walked in and he just said, "Wrong round,
Yeah.
wrong round, Masabo."
No! Recording now! Yeah.
Yeah, he busted in the bathroom. I was sitting down. He was kicking me in the balls, stomping me in the balls as hard as he
As
could.
hard as I could.
Flushed for me, picked me up,
It's like the
Wow.
elevator scene in
and threw me
Drive
down
with his penis.
with his penis.
You know, have we talked about?
Handle.
Have I actually said that on the podcast before about how podcasts that have formats are dumb?
Wow.
They suck.
No.
Yeah, I hate
mean,
hate it.
What podcast just doesn't have a form of any kind?
Well, I mean, every podcast.
You
has-
literally just stop. You start the podcast with a routine.
no, yeah, well, kind of now, but that's because we have money to get.
Gotta get that bag.
We got to stack paper.
Gotta get that paper.
Honestly, as long as the fucking $12 a month subscription fee is paid, I don't care. As long as I can pay the podcast host, I don't give a shit. That's fine.
$12.
Is that
12
questions? 2 questions or 3 subscriptions?
Yeah, but-
that's all I need.
but in essence,
that's all I want.
You're
man.
saying as long as the $12 happen, you won't do routine, but you are stating the opposite by doing the routine regardless of the $12.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Man,
You're-
we're like almost 30 minutes in. This episode sucks.
Hey, I don't care.
That's
about
by design.
It
We're
is
just
by
following your format list that you brought in and slammed
it.
on the
It's long.
table.
It's 4
Yeah.
pages.
It says the laws.
I
of
don't
the-
know
the
why you
laws of
put
Jimmy.
22 minutes of empty space here.
Oh yeah, well that's why I need to hurry up because it's about to be at 28 minutes, and that's when it's got to be like
we're
fucking
like this is filling it in.
38
Yeah.
minutes, and then we got to do 22 minutes.
We're
of
so
silence.
good at routine. that
Hey,
we-
where's
we're
your
filling it
safety
in.
segment? That was something weird that popped up that you did once
That was
and
fun.
never brought back.
That was a fun one, yeah.
That's because at work they started making us do these safety minutes, and I've just been finding
Oh, how was
really
this week?
obscure memey safety minutes to do, but no one can call me out on it
Oh,
because
what
it's
was the recent
like,
one?
so it'll be shit like here's why I don't know you, I don't even know any good.
Well, it's like
example.
sleeping, I assume. Always sleep.
Yeah, it's
uh,
dumb shit. It's
Make sure
shit
you
that
eat. I guess don't
Yeah.
go outside too long.
yeah.
Don't stay inside too
Don't
long.
drink over the weekend, I guess.
Well, it's stuff like I would say like don't fill garbage bags with gasoline, but then try to but then try to and don't carry them in your trunk, but then try and explain it in a detail that makes it sound like I did that
Yeah.
over the week and don't have a car now.
I love
You
that
know, like-
concept because it's literally because a lot of cars it's connected to like the trunk is connected. I guess there's usually a seal,
Mm-hmm.
but it's putting the bag in the car and then gassing yourself out and you're like woo
Yeah, woo! Safety minutes are
Slowly.
stupid. We sit at fucking desks all goddamn day, so
funny.
I waste everyone's time.
I'm supposed to do them daily, and yeah, I have a hard time doing that.
so
'Cause,
dumb.
I mean, I obviously for me it's important.
It
So
is don't yes,
die.
that is true.
Don't die is basically the essence of it, and
Mm-hmm.
try not to kill other people is also the essence of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm supposed to be doing them more. But yeah, they usually come out to like, I think yours is just like, hey, don't sprain an ankle when you're in your office chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm
like,
just
yeah.
like, don't mortally wound yourself and be never hit money again and have a suffer for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's usually the essence of mine.
That's
Like,
I mean that's a good safety minute. That's
probably
a good
don't
fucking safety minute.
try not to suffer.
Just
That's
tell all
good.
your employees every day you're gonna die one day.
You're fired. I
just to
hire
keep
Matt
it in
for the
mind.
safety segment.
All right.
He can do it from
No,
here. on
I
out.
accept it. Can I at least I'll resign so it doesn't look bad on like the resume? Can I do that?
Well, yeah, it's going to be a lot of paperwork. We got to shift around how the $12 looks on paper.
For the safety minute, part of it is the safety.
Yeah, when
minute.
I submit this to our earnings to the IRS,
person that
and they're
does the
like,
safety-
who earned the $48?
The person that does the safety minute gets another 0.5% share.
share,
That counts a lot.
Oh.
share.
Safety minute's a big
Are you saying
opportunity.
share
Yeah.
of the original
Share
Of
of
the
the
money.
share of the company.
company?
Yeah, well, because I when we have more than $12, I distribute what's left. Because I pay the podcast first, and then whatever's left. That's how come I came with the money that one day.
Yeah, that's true. We did
Yeah,
do that.
and now we're
I
not-
just gave back to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you bought I forget what you got off of me.
Good stuff.
You got that good.
We'd have to go
good
back to
shit
that
off of me.
episode to find out.
Yeah,
Because
That's a
I
callback.
said-
everyone,
that's a callback.
everyone, how about you do me a favor? Everyone who's listening, just go back, listen through all the episodes and rate our podcast 5 stars. Because some motherfucker rated us 1 star. We got a 4.6 on Spotify right now.
Oh,
So we gotta we gotta dox that guy.
you don't think it's someone
Yeah.
that Casey knows?
Specifically, Casey knows.
I don't tell
I
anybody.
have a lot of enemies.
Do you? What the fuck?
No
Karaoke be fucking
I think it's-
hardcore.
I think it's like seething. I don't know if he knows his enemies.
I've been competing for months.
that is true.
I think I haven't crushed a few vocal
Hearts?
cords on there.
Snapped a few chords.
Violently,
Violently.
metaphorically. No, I don't think it. What you describe every time, you're always just like, yeah, I had a really fun time, but I didn't win. And then you're like, this person won, and you're like, yeah, that made sense. So I don't know. I don't think
Have
there's
you
much hate.
won
I don't
any of them yet?
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I've
he's won
won
some.
every one of them. All right.
Have you?
Inside, not
when I'm
really.
walking in the door, I'm winning.
That doesn't fucking count.
I'm winning.
When I'm walking out, I'm still winning.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Perpetual.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
All right.
Always perpetually winning.
Oh.
Always perpetually winning. Yeah, I gotta.
You won't see me at a loss.
I gotta get some slippery elm.
Whoa.
What?
You still use that?
No.
Is it still good? No.
What's the
No,
slippery elm? Is that
Use
a,
singers.
Huh?
Singers. Get it at the Sprouts.
I'm lost. Is that the throat shit?
Do you use the throat shit still?
Yes.
You get it at Sprouts.
Yes.
Okay, so why'd you say no?
Because it's not Slippery Elm.
What's it called?
Singers.
It's just called
Interesting.
Singers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it show a singer on the
Alright.
the tip?
No.
Because if I'm going to practice, I don't want to snap any vocal cords.
Whoa.
Well, it's a muscle. It's a muscle you have to work in, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda. That's why Casey has the bell and whistle.
The bell and
The
whistle?
bell and whistle.
Yeah, he literally practices with a tuba.
Correct.
He has a tuba on his necklace.
A tuba for.
Didn't
What
you
is
talk
that?
about before?
No, I don't know what he's talking about. Let me
He
see
literally
it.
has
no,
a
I don't have it.
Oh, he
Oh.
doesn't have the tuba, but he
Oh.
has a tuba he uses.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. You should hook me up with one of them tubas.
He
Nah.
blows into it.
No?
Nah.
Oh,
You can just use a straw.
Yeah.
Straw.
Yeah.
That's true. That he bought one, but there's a straw that actually what people. I mean, there's a straw in general people can use.
I've earned the tuba.
He said he practiced the straw a little bit beforehand, and then now he has
You
the tuba.
practice with a straw. I mean,
You
he's...
blow into it, and you get you start practicing your lung capacity.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, my lung capacity isn't the problem. Like,
You think so?
Well, I mean, singing.
I played woodwinds for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the problem.
That's playing a woodwind.
Well, I mean, in general.
It's,
you
Welcome
know,
to
it's
singing.
not. It's not that different. It's the same techniques.
Welcome to singing.
It's not that different. I got the breath control down. It's the tone that I don't got quite where I want it.
What is you gonna pull out a flute in case he's gonna sing, and you're just gonna blow him out of the water? You're
You
like,
start doing the future fucking
Yeah.
Percocet. Molly Percocet.
My mind.
Oh.
My mind is a flute.
corruption.
Man, all right, we should talk about more role playing games. Here's a gimme. You're not playing any games at all or anything right now, are you? Why?
He's done.
Why?
Yeah, I heard you're retiring. Fucks up with
I'm
that.
retiring. Yeah. Where'd you get that interview?
We just talked about it.
You just talked
No,
about
you
it?
just talked about it.
I
You
talked
said, You
about
said
it.
I hate role playing games and never want to play them again.
That's
My
what
friends,
I said.
My friends suck. Fuck them. You know, I'm never
True.
gonna
He emailed
do
me
anything
that.
with them again.
He said he hates email. He spent the time to email me that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it was text. It was speech to text, so I know it didn't. He didn't actually work on it.
He sang it to you.
He said,
I sang it. Yeah.
"Yeah." In the email is a attachment that I have to log into because I don't have the authorization. So then I had
Yeah.
to talk to him and say, "I don't know what your message
Yeah,
was."
you have to request access to my Google Doc, and you finally open it up. It says, "Fuck you."
Fuck
Yeah, and you're just fucking going
Yeah, then he
off
said
on
that.
how like fuck you, something my dick. Well, but no, like I mean, well, the reason why there's been a month we skipped a month is because things got real fucking busy for everyone.
Yeah.
Like real fucking busy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think everyone's gotten the most busy and has stayed
I'm the most busy I've ever
in
been.
You are so fucking busy.
Yeah.
So busy.
It's good. You're busy with good shit.
Yeah.
You know, you're not busy with dumb shit. You're busy with shit that matters. But
Yeah.
it's still, you know, it is one of those things though where as much as fun as it is and as accomplished as it feels, you kind of sit down and go, man, I'm fucking busy. You know what I mean?
It's a different
still,
feeling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. But yeah, we were just hashing out before the podcast. We were hashing out our game schedule right now, and things are kind of sparse, but you know,
Dude,
we got
I
some
felt
stuff
like
going right now.
I'm not doing anything because I scheduled how many hours that I have left in studio to get stuff done by the end of the year. I have about 250 hours
Wow.
How would
to
you
finish out each one of these songs,
Mhm.
get them ready to be performed, get
Yeah.
them recorded.
Fuck. So
how'd
yeah.
You even, what do you mean? You how'd you schedule
what would
it
that
out?
be?
You mean like actually recording it?
Well, I think he like estimated like here's about how much time it takes me to record one of these. Now I got to do this for this many.
No,
songs.
how does it hear?
No.
How much time on average is spent in the studio doing practices, doing recording,
Yeah,
doing
that's
performance rehearsal, doing choreography, everything?
Yeah.
choreography. I
Choreography.
immediately pictured you like in like doing
K-pop?
Cats or K-pop. That's
Oh
even
damn!
better.
Cats
Yeah,
is like yeah. Oh damn! That's a whole other thing.
that is a whole other
I mean,
thing.
Cats.
Is he wearing the costume or is he just doing the choreography?
I feel like doing the choreography would be so much.
I'm
worse
wearing
if
the
you weren't
costume,
wearing
but
the
I'm not
costume.
doing the choreography. I'm basically
opposite. Yeah.
like Cats is happening around me, but I basically have the strut of like just a stand-up comedian that's like sleeping in his car.
You're like Shane Gillis,
Yeah,
like dressed
yeah.
up like one of the cats.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Just bumbling his way through slurs.
No. What's everyone else fucking flying through the air and shit?
I like the idea. So is it only you during that
Yeah.
the costume? I almost like the idea they're all wearing it and no one's happy about it.
No.
And then Casey brought it up, and then when he started putting it on, he realized he also hated it. But it took so long to put it on, he's just going to the motions.
Dude, well, we're gonna talk about costuming after this, though. I gotta talk about something.
Okay.
Offline.
Okay. Yeah,
but,
I get it.
yeah. But like, holy shit. Yeah, that sucks.
I still don't get your time estimate.
What do you mean?
So
No,
how
like-
do you have an actual like max time?
Well,
So
so
there's about 16 weeks left in the year.
Yep.
We've
Yeah.
got about we do about two guaranteed practice sessions a week.
Right,
Each one of
now
those
it's
about
2.
4 hours on average. That's 8 hours a week.
Yeah. All right, but what about holidays?
Holidays are
So like Talk Like a Pirate Day,
a holiday.
we don't consider it a holiday.
That's a federal holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't calculate.
You gotta
holidays?
take that off, or
What about
God will strike
Christmas?
you down.
Yeah. What about Christmas? This is Christmas time. You gonna do practice during Christmas?
I'll do practice during any time.
Well, so
What about Labor Day?
I mean, you gotta understand too, like,
I already
because
did.
a lot of the people who are like professional musicians, like doing it for a living, like they got nothing else but they're doing that. I mean, it's literally like 8 to 12 hours a day, no breaks in the studio unless they're touring. Because if you're recording, like you're doing that right now, it's like if you're recording for 3 different bands. Because if you're a professional musician, you got to be involved in like a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't say professional musician to diminish what you're doing. In fact, I feel like saying a professional musician is like, damn, good luck. You know, because I like having a steady day job. I wouldn't want to make my entire living off of music. That sounds.
I would.
I've been around it enough, and I've like where it's just like, fuck, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah,
That's
I've
hard
heard
to
about
do.
touring schedules.
Yeah,
14-hour days
yeah.
for months.
It is, and it's in a lot of cases. I mean, most musicians, because I listen to a lot of like heavy metal and underground heavy metal and stuff, and I mean those guys, like a van and some amps, and I mean they're doing nothing but recording and touring all the time, and they still have trouble making ends meet. You know, it's like unless you make it really big, it's like shit. That sounds hard. And it's not it sounds fun, but I couldn't do it. That's
God,
a level of risk. That
Whatever
scares
you're
me.
doing does not sound fun at all.
Man.
It sounds brutal. Casey.
Living the life. But if it was me, I'd be worried.
No,
You know.
you still gotta
Just saying, looking at the odds, not looking
Not
good.
looking good.
You though, you're great.
That's not what I'm
like,
saying.
no problem. But if I was in your shoes, woo.
Yeah, Casey and I read it the same way.
What I'm saying is,
Suffering.
I'm happy that you don't have to rely on that for your money yet.
And what I hear
that's
is,
hard.
what I'm saying is, I'm happy that I get to view this experience from here,
Yes,
and that I have no part in it.
I'm gonna. That's what are friends for? Dragging you back down.
Yeah.
It's like lobsters in
me.
a bucket.
That's what I do.
Yeah, just dragging your ass back.
I love that. Yeah.
No, I think it's awesome, but I think it's also awesome that you have a good job, because I think it would just be it would be really, really cool, but it would be scary to be relying on like tour.
Oh no, it's
That's
totally
all I'm
true.
saying.
That's
like
totally
relying on
true.
tour and records, because I mean record sales also are like shit. So you also have to sell like tons of merch. And then that's a whole fucking thing.
Listen, all I have to do is write the right kind of music to get a Bad Dragon deal, and then
I mean, Imagine Dragons
sold.
would make more sense.
Man, we really got to talk after this.
Yeah, it does sound like Jimmy's just kind of like, dude, your life.
That's
must
not what I'm
suck.
fucking saying.
And I am so glad I'm here because,
Yeah.
dude, I would shoot myself.
Man,
I would fucking blow
why the
my
hell,
brains
why
out.
the hell don't you play role playing games anymore? Or hang out with your friends? It must suck to be you. Damn,
Dude, perfect. Yeah.
what are you doing? I'm just
Dude, Casey's been
working
busy.
on the same 6 songs for hours on end. Woo! Yeah, that sounds
Blow
fun.
my brains out. No
Damn.
way.
Man, I really am showing my true colors. I'm green with jealousy, green with envy right now.
Yep.
I think it's badass. I think it's badass what you're doing.
Green, is that like the actual term or is it a different color?
What?
Well, like, is it like the
Green
Hulk?
is the right color.
Well, like Hulk.
Don't start naming other colors, please.
Okay, well, the Hulk is
I don't
green.
want to have to. Yes. Now stop. Now especially stop. Stop putting people and colors in the same sentence.
Okay.
I don't want to have to fucking censor anything. We've had a good run.
I don't know what he's talking
We
about.
have a good run.
I genuinely don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh my
but,
God.
But
What is
you're
he
making
thinking of?
him red with anger.
Yeah. Dude, what is he thinking about?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, this-
genuinely don't think about
This
anything.
brandy's hitting quick.
Yeah.
God.
I haven't had anything
I'll
to eat,
stop, but damn.
Seems to be
I-
trying to intimidate you, thinking that you might be yellow.
Oh, you mean like a race thing?
Oh my god.
That's what Casey brought up.
No, it's not.
Because I genuinely,
That's not okay.
I still don't- I still don't have that
No,
thought.
because yellow also means cowardly. Casey
Okay.
did not make it a race thing.
Well, it's
you saying that it's a race thing
Well,
made it a race thing.
well,
That's what I was
because-
trying. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid.
okay. Because like if you're sick, yeah, you turn yellow. But that's also mostly pale. Right?
Green. That's green also.
Oh, okay.
Or pale. Turn white.
Yeah, because
Sheet
realistically,
white.
you'd be pale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time you've seen someone turn green?
I can't. You know.
That's
you know.
not a question I'm prepared
Matt,
for.
that beats the fucking shit out of me. That beats the ever loving fucking shit out of
When was
me.
the last time I saw
Yeah,
someone turn green?
Well, like,
probably like Shrek 1 when Fiona turns into
I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's it. You saw Ogre Fiona come on screen. You're like, I'm going green.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like,
Oh,
where's that you come from? You know, turning green. I thought it'd be like turning pale.
turning pale?
Well, that would be realistic.
It'd be
But the term, that's
realistic.
why I was making sure about the term.
I can't think of anything more realistic than Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk.
yeah. Yeah. He's
Wasn't he red? No, he was gray originally, wasn't he?
I don't fucking
I don't know the
Gray?
comics. I think he was gray originally. Yeah, he
Yes.
was originally gray. And then,
but he's not gray with envy.
yeah, Envy
Yeah.
being green. You know where that came from?
Where did that come from? Don't say race, but where did it come from?
Really? Really? It's your fault.
Is
You
it my
planted
fault?
the seed in his head.
I agree.
I'm still like in a
You
very...
doubted him, and because of that, he
It's-
actualized your fears.
I shouldn't. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I shouldn't have brought it up at all.
I
You're
still
100%
don't know
right.
what you're
In
talking
trying to avoid it, I manifested it into reality, and that is my fault. I take full responsibility for that. But only that and nothing that happens after this point, so that I don't get canceled.
It's
on,
just,
like,
do you
wherever.
know where that thought of turning green for them comes from?
Where?
No, that's why I'm genuinely...
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like a... Like, maybe because we had, like, dietary things.
It must be
that
some
were-
Victorian England shit.
Like, I
They had
mean,
a
I
lot
guess
of
you can be,
weird
but mostly you're just
association.
Probably-
really pale.
Yeah.
Usually just, like, really pale and you throw up and die.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess, you know what? In a gross way, it's when you're decaying.
but
Yeah.
You would be green then.
okay,
When
yeah,
you're dead.
but
Why
you're
would
not
you be
envious.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
living? Maybe it's like a weird Greek thing about like.
I think
envious
this
the
is just
living?
going to keep going until I
Maybe,
put a fucking wrench in that wheel and we.
like green, like a sprouting leaf, like it's a brand new envy.
How about?
That's poetic.
That's so beautiful.
Well, you were talking
That's
shit
so
about
beautiful.
Casey.
No, how about we talk about what games? What's our game schedule right now? Like, we got to put something about role playing games in here, or we're gonna get like sued or something for false advertising.
Weekends, I'm playing the game. I'm good.
So, guys, I'm gonna be running Minds of the Phandelver.
Yeah.
I really would like to run Burning Wheel, but I'm gonna be doing that for this podcast, and I think running the new Minds of Phandelver D&D thing looks fucking sick.
Seems cool.
It looks. I've looked at some of the spoiler stuff because I'm going to be running it, and I'm like, this shit's tight as hell. So
Yeah.
I'm interested in running that. You're running your yokai game, right?
Yup, Japanese ghost adventures.
Yep. Yeah.
What?
Legend of the Fire.
What I do? Now what? What I do? You guys make no sense. I have to.
I'm getting dizzy.
I have to go back in time.
You're
to find
making
out
my
what I've done.
blood pressure.
What
go
did I do? I genuinely. So this time I actually don't know. All right, you guys are just like
didn't do it.
church ladies. You guys are like church ladies now. Oh my god! Did you guys spike each other? What's in that brandy? You told me I was a cheap date.
It's very good brandy. Thank
This
you,
is my
Casey.
favorite drink.
Hey, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Hey,
Dude,
cheers.
I haven't. I'm
Cheers,
just like.
pal.
All right. Here you
Come
go.
on.
Cheers.
I'm actually in the dark. I'm not even joking.
No,
about it.
we'll talk about
Yeah.
it.
What do you mean talk about
We'll
it?
talk about it
What does that
extensively.
mean? I said ghost samurai.
God,
Is this the way I'm
damn.
saying it?
Uh,
What's wrong with me saying
no,
samurai?
the way, so no, I'm very excited for the Legend of the Five Rings game. That character sheet, is that just like, I really like the character sheet you sent me. It looks different from the one we used when you were running it before.
Nope.
All right. Well, there goes that
No,
line of conversation.
I could show you upstairs, but that
Okay.
one I think. Well, you're right. That one explains it a bit better while you're playing. But I think it just adds a little bit, saying when you're in these circles and rings, this is how you should be thinking. I think you're right. It does.
The association was a little better.
I think that the part of what I've seen with third parties is trying to help explain the game, and usually it's like spreadsheets.
Yeah, it usually
I'll
is like
just
a
be
fucking
like,
Google.
here's
like,
how you do it.
sheets.
'Cause
Yeah.
eventually everyone has the same idea of what rings are, but it takes some time.
Do you guys remember like back in the Pathfinder days when you got like the Excel spreadsheets that fucking did calc for characters
No.
and stuff?
Except
Never
I
did
did it all
that.
by hand.
Yeah, they did
Yeah,
by hand.
yeah.
I never got the Excel. I think Ben didn't. I think Ben did a PDF.
So the other thing I was gonna say is you were telling me earlier about the prep you're doing with this game. I have never prepped for anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't know if have you like put in that amount of, because I know you put in a
Oh,
lot of
certainly.
prep.
He
For,
puts
like,
a lot
your
of time
other-
in it, yeah.
You do put a lot
Yeah.
of time in your shit. I don't think I've ever done that much prep personally, but like the whole mapping it out and reading all the sources you've been doing is like next level. That's all I'm saying. I'm really excited playing it.
I just like the idea of in a 5th edition game when you're running anything D&D, everyone knows the concepts and knows what's going on. If you talk about a dragon, people aren't thinking of a purple-eyed wizard. They're thinking of specifically a dragon. And when you talk about anything like a lich, everyone pretty much gets it, like we talked about before. D&D is mainstream. There's a lot of concepts like a beholder they might not get, but they probably could get.
I do like that is nice. Is the general kind of like elves, magic.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
boom. I mean,
All
I
of it
understand
is
what's
complete
going
there.
on. Yeah.
So when I'm trying to run a system where, I historically don't want to have the problem with, hey, I do something and then it's just like, cool, I think about it in this term. I want to be able to know enough to not have to worry about stopping.
Right, because I mean, L5R is definitely not.
It's mystical
Elves and
Japan,
dragons, yeah.
and you don't have to obviously get into the lore, but the lore is not like, oh, it's literally Japan, but then like magical. It is. It like any other setting, it has a very specific thing that happens. There is a timeline that is actually kind of hard to get into because I have no idea where they get it. Actually, the timeline is kind of the older editions, but I think the timeline is just it's like just moving forward. It doesn't like redo things. So the timeline moves forward, and like any kind of like legendary game, in the sense of like, even in D&D, like shit comes back. You read history, and like even Casey's done it a lot. Hey, something happened 1,000 years ago. Well, that guy came back, and you need to find out with what you know. All the books about him are destroyed.
Yeah.
So you need to, as players, to be able to cipher whatever I'm going to be able to give you in fragments.
Yeah.
And so Legend of the Five Rings is the same, but you have less connection to the world. So I have to be able to present the world to you as living.
Yeah.
It's probably
as much as I can.
that's a daunting
That's
task.
That's what a lot of the stuff when I did Eberron, the main focus, those first 5 sessions is highlighting and building scenes and moments to
What's going on in the world?
show distinctually how this works differently than a standard D&D.
So you had to explain. You basically, because even in Ravenloft and stuff, you didn't necessarily need to explain the world.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
because you could just go elves and magic. Okay. Also, there's vampires. Oh, okay. Eberron is like way harder to like get across in those terms. I think. I mean, I'm thinking a game. I'm applying that logic to games I've run too, and it's like you have games like Delta Green or World of Darkness, which take place in our world. So that's already way better because of the relatability.
It's very helpful. Yeah.
But even something like Burning Wheel, thank God the Lord of the Rings. Thank God the Lord of the Rings movies exist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Burning Wheel is also elves and magic.
Yes.
It's just the system is way different, like how it
system
kind of interacts with
is
all
a
of
bit
that.
harder to get into. Yeah.
But that makes sense with look, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. We're never gonna get movies like that again. Those are like the best movies of all time, hands down.
There'll be different
and
versions.
no, honey, no,
Honey, no.
honey.
If Peter Jackson dies, his ghost will reincarnate and kill himself.
Correct.
That's what he's saying.
100%. Yeah, he'll get in the movie. He'll be like the Ring Girl, but instead you got this fat man coming out of your big ass TV. But
He's
but-
like, no, he's
lost.
really skinny now.
is he?
Yeah, he's been skinny for since like
He's been skinny
2004.
He made the Lord of the Rings trilogy. There's like a lower limit to your BMI if you did that. You know what I mean?
But if you acted in it, you're saying
It's like George R. R. Martin can never be skinny, ever
Yeah.
because of the stuff he writes. He writes fantasy. It's like, sorry, you write fantasy staples. You're a fat nerd
I feel
now.
like it's
That's how it
it's
works.
anxiety that gets him.
I don't think he gives a shit.
I think
it's the total opposite. I don't think he cares anymore. He got his bag. We're never going to see
he's
a Song
talked
of Ice and
about
Fire finish.
Yeah, but he's talked about his anxiety with writing to
Has he?
Stephen King.
Yeah.
yeah.
He
That's true.
literally was like, "How do you write?" And he goes, "Stephen King's like, I just write."
chug mouthwash.
Every night,
Yeah.
every night, Stephen King's getting ready. He's tucking in. He's going to go to bed. He's like, "Oh, the phone's going off again." Yeah, that's Martin. What's up, Martin? He's like, "I just don't know what to write. I tried to write today. I didn't get very
Yeah.
far."
There's literally an interview where he says that.
It's like, how do you do
Yeah.
it? He's
And then
like,
Stephen King's like,
"I
how
don't
about you
know.
stop writing an
Why don't
MS-DOS, you
why don't
fucking weirdo?
take the Night
Yeah.
King and you have him walk into one of the cities, and then there's maybe not a dragon there, but what if there's like a forge is there, and the forge starts talking to him.
Yeah,
That's
just
something.
it's an evil forge. It's eviler than the Night
Why
King,
is the
and that's-
forge talking? Well, you've got a lot of magical stuff, so I mean, if you dig deep enough, there should be an
Look,
alien there.
Just put a character
Aliens,
somewhere and see what happens.
Basically, you
It
just
happens.
you
That
see what
easy.
happens, and you keep describing it up to the point where the character can't describe things anymore, and you can't describe it, and then you just say it's an alien. You say that for like a
Yeah,
paragraph,
you say that for
and then you go right back into like describing the dark spot.
man.
in the
Fuck
wall.
Stephen King, man. He spent the first half of his writing career rewiring his brain with drugs to become the perfect writer, and then has the gall to write a writing advice book.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like-
and then everyone who reads it is like, "This isn't helpful."
This isn't helpful at all.
At
just
all.
because it's literally, I think we
Just-
talked about that before. Just write.
Just
I don't know
write,
what you're
pussy.
talking.
You
Just
just do
write.
it, and it happens.
Just write, you fucking loser. Just put
pussy.
characters into place and just write about it.
Yeah, because there was a conference, not a conference where George R. R. Martin was talking to Stephen King, and he literally says that to him. He's like, "Dude, every sentence I delete," and Stephen King's like, "I don't know, buddy."
Yeah, he's like, I literally
It was
cannot
great.
relate.
He's just like,
Yeah.
"Dude, I don't know," and then George R. R. Martin stressing there, just as him saying it, you can hear his anxiety.
George R. R. Martin also seems the type of person, I know that people say that he uses some old computer or whatever. I guarantee he uses Vim or something. He spends more time editing his config file than he does actually writing. Whereas
Yep.
Stephen King is whatever there is there. Typewriter, Word, I don't care, I'm writing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
does
saying?
he do a typewriter still?
Why are you asking
No,
me?
he doesn't.
Well, 'cause
He-
I thought
he
you
uses
read
a
his thing on
computer
writing.
now.
I didn't read it.
He uses a computer now.
Okay.
But the thing
parts
is
of it.
again, he disciplined himself early on to write well with drugs.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so
And that was like you said, his brain is permanent.
his brain is permanently wired to be the perfect writer.
It's permanent.
But yeah, no, I'm really, really excited for the Legend of the Five Rings game because that amount of prep. Because you also for Ravenloft and Planescape, and you've prepped a lot for those.
Yeah.
That is a type of prep I don't think I've done, at least. It's an interesting because your prep you described before. It's you go back to a lot of old supplements or a lot of stuff, and you're yanking stuff here, you're pulling stuff here. You got it all thrown together and
it
stuff.
works really well because the plot is is embedded. When you're making
Yeah.
up your own game, you're like, this sounds so cool. But Casey would be like, well, here's adventure paths, and I can go off those beats in order to remake the beats. So he's not stressing about how the pacing is going to be because the pacing is established and is inverted in the future.
I just can't say I've done extracurricular research like what you're doing.
I mean, it's a
where
10
it's
years
a ton of
10, 15 years in the running of just my interest over time.
That's pretty tight.
I love folklore.
How much outside research would you say you've done for games?
Outside research?
Just besides stuff you've read and deciding to pull it in, actually being oh, I should go read that book because it has to do
you'd
with
have to pick a game.
Ravenloft.
None.
no.
There's no need to.
Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
Eberron,
see
I don't think so
Dracula.
either.
You seen the Mummy. You see it all.
yeah.
Yeah.
No need. Ravenloft is the easiest thing.
All the political interest.
You can even people walk in and like, "What are you guys doing?" It's elves and dwarves and magic, and they're like, "I don't get that." You're like, "There's vampires and we're hunting them." People are like, "Okay, I get that."
Yeah.
There's
Easy.
evil powers.
It's yeah.
Evil
That-
stuff.
I love
simple.
that. It is very simple.
So pick a different one.
Eberron.
Eberron.
Eberron, I had to read some Eberron Wikipedia stuff.
So not
Planescape?
outside. That'd be inside.
Planescape,
That
I
was all
had.
Vecna Must Die stuff.
It was, as well as also digging into blogs, looking into 5 different source books.
I
There's a lot of shit in the planes.
I wasn't around for Did you
Um,
read a lot of extra? Did you read stuff for that?
I don't think he did. I think it was still embedded in the lore that was there.
Yeah.
Because he's had very lore strength.
Yeah.
That's
settings.
tight.
So he doesn't really have to go outside of that.
That's true because I don't know jack about the fucking extended D&D lore.
Yeah,
You
he's
know where
always
to
talked
look
about
even. yeah.
like you said, old adventures. So then he gets the pacing, and then he gets to deviate from things that have happened in the past.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So then because it's already like lore rich. So he's not like he's not going into like a what would Kinder do and then deviating off. He's deviating off like heavily, like building up, which makes it it makes it more interesting because it's not. Oh shit! My own creative world. Everything. What's the how big is everyone's ass cheeks? And how does that matter?
I think my prep ends up being a lot different. So, like, for Lamentations of the Flame Princess right now, I'm running a mashup of all of the modules. I'm not really reading all of them ahead of time. I'm just live bouncing between all these PDFs and just grabbing stuff as I go.
Yeah.
And it's working out really well. With Burning Wheel, I like, which is my favorite game to run, I don't have to prepare game-wise, but I have to prepare aesthetically. Like, I have to be mentally capable to like come up with stuff. I got to be in the mood.
Yeah.
I got to be in the aesthetic. Like I got to listen to like fucking heavy metal and shit before like because it's unfortunately something you can't do much research ahead of time for. And I just have never been good at doing that. I've never been good at prep, and I think I like to say that I was, but like I don't know. Besides
Prep is
reading stuff,
painful.
it's very painful.
There's sometimes I felt pretty into it, but like I've said before, reading L5R was painful
Yeah.
because, and I had to. There is a whole bunch of YouTube stuff that says the same thing. It's like, hey, for the guy who wants to understand this game, I posted some in the channel too, but he's just like, hey, this is for the guy who wants to understand the game. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
and then like every concept he talks about, he has a criticism corner. And so he literally is just like, okay, this is how the game says it. Let me tell you what I do. So the game is like L5R, when it changes editions, would have to address a lot. And so I don't want people, that's why I said just today, which was I don't want people to know the rules because I'll figure that out. Yeah. Or most likely Ben will. But I know it enough to just be like, don't worry about this. We're moving on.
It is advantageous to be in it. I think I'm going to stop. I have stopped actually because it used to be that for a lot of games, I would have multiple copies of the rule book to give out at the table.
Yeah.
And I definitely have stopped doing that. I think giving people access to that at least early on, if they're new to the system or new to role playing in general, it's a bad idea.
Yeah, I will have cheat sheets that I'll be printing that other people have made. Because that's why I was inspired a lot by what like Casey and Ben would say is I have less resources, but I do have some of people who played the game a lot and then made their own cheat sheets.
I should make a cheat sheet.
And I thought I was going to be like you guys were doing, which was like, oh, this is the adventure. This is all the published fifth adventures. There's tons of like third party people discussing and what's cool. I don't have any of that.
Right.
There's none of that. There's forums where people are like, can we keep playing L5R? And they're like, like when they stop supporting it, it doesn't go away.
That is that is
you
fucking
can keep
insane
playing.
To me. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, dude, you can keep playing it.
There are people who are still playing second edition.
Yes, I know.
Like just because the edition's no longer so. I mean, it's such a consumer way to think. Like, oh no, they're not making old thing. Time to start buying new thing. It's like you never have to buy a new thing ever again, right?
Yeah.
Like if you chose, you could just keep playing old thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then instead of finding like adventure, interesting inquiries, because there's definitely stuff like, I wonder how people would deal with this. None of that. It's only videos describing like parts of the game that are hella confusing.
Yeah.
And I will
So,
do my best to
you're
try
like-
to sidestep them.
You're in the cave and you're having to watch shadows of what it's like to play Legend of the Five Rings, but you never get to see what it actually looks like.
No, I'm watching
Right,
playthroughs. I'm watching playthroughs.
That's you, man. You are fucking. You're gonna be an all-star GM for this. Like, holy shit!
I doubt that.
You're doing everything.
Every time
to
I
do.
always want to restart, I have it's literally anything I do. Like I do when I do plan for parties.
Yeah.
You should hear about the plans that never
Your parties are
never
insane,
get out of my
yeah.
mouth of what I wanted to do. I
Oh,
told
fuck.
you
have.
about when you had you had one of your birthdays you didn't want to do. How I was gonna gaslight you to no end.
Yeah.
And there's, I mean, Just everything.
What
There's so many
fun.
times I pull myself back, and it's good. A lot of time it's good. I do that because
Yeah.
the insanity
Oh,
of
no, it
my
is good.
extrasensities would be good.
You really shouldn't show up dressed as an Irish golfer.
Nope, I'm doing that.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's funny. I couldn't find good plaid pants.
Oh, that sucks.
Casey doesn't want to provide it. He said no way.
I don't wear plaid.
Yeah, it's plaid. It's like plaid, like 70s pants. Honestly, and then the sweater vest I have is not really a sweater vest. It's just a vest that doesn't have.
So
And then polo shirt because it's polo. I guess is what they wear. I don't know. But my hat does say Pickleball Social Club.
That's cool.
And
That's a sick hat.
I've already
That's a
had
trippy
people
hat.
say, "Do you play pickleball?" I'm like, "Nope."
nice.
I'm like, "I've never heard
It's
of
even
pickleball."
got like it's got that cord
Yeah.
there. Man, that is a
never heard of
drippy
pickleball.
fucking hat, dude.
But I love this because ironic. Because I have the other hat that I
Yeah.
did put in the wash, which is
so you're gonna start dressing.
hold my drink. I need to pet this cat.
You're gonna start dressing like you're 62 already.
it's drippy.
Nice.
It's fashionable to dress like you're
I mean, I'm
62.
sure my back's gonna die, so I've seen like guys who hunchback
Yeah.
walking into supply houses,
Oh,
literally just
God.
hunchback.
Oh
But
God.
for me, I need to do this research because you literally don't even know what you're stepping into,
I don't.
Yeah.
or want to spend the time on it.
I don't even know what my feet look like.
I haven't seen my feet in years.
But yeah, it's also just my interest in the world. Like, yeah, being heavily into like most like cultures like folklore, and then just early on I read too much history that had no help with the story. I read
Right,
tons
right.
of history, and it didn't help me one bit.
That's brutal.
And now I'm
Yeah.
doing the better thing, which is what Casey and Ben do. Is I'm just doing it in my own way, which is literally soaking myself in the lore instead of soaking myself in history, because the lore is what's built for the game.
right. Yeah.
The lore is
And
built for the game.
And
then
L5R
adventures.
does have a lot of lore.
Because I will have adventure paths that are published as a through line and side stuff that I'll be playing with that it is folklore and is also novel based on the novels.
I think that's the ticket right
So
there.
I have most things is not even like my creative input except for
Right.
trying to translate ideas.
Yeah.
And obviously when you're DM, there's just you're not going to do the adventure straight. There's no
You know-
way you're ever going to do the adventure straight.
when we were talking about like, Elves and Magic, I get it. Not even Pathfinder's like that anymore.
Yeah,
Because like,
it's different.
and they also have the novels and all the lore and all the adventure
Oh
paths.
yeah, they do have a lot of novels.
It's like maybe all this is making me think maybe it's like D&D doesn't need. I mean, D&D already has a bunch of lore and stuff like that, but like maybe the reason why they don't come out with supplements as often anymore, or like people really like it and defer to it, is because you don't really need anything to play like the normal elf game.
Yeah.
Like, what do you need? You know what I mean? Like, you've seen probably enough movies
Yeah.
or read enough books that you can just go for it.
Well, it's
you know?
funny because L5R is literally, mystical Japan, but its own clan. All their clans are specific.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yes, when you're reading the novel, it is specific to the lore, but it also
Right.
is very much based on Japanese history.
Yeah.
It's really,
Really-
Concepts of social
Really,
stuff
the,
is all
the
Japanese
trick
history.
is trying to find out, reading those like the clan descriptions and stuff of everything in Rokugan, what movie those clans correspond to, that the imagery and aesthetic that was taken for them
Yeah,
comes from.
Mhm.
That's like most of the stuff
Little bit,
in a whole lot of settings and shows. You kind of got to try and find where the inspiration is grounded from to then kind of know where to build from there.
yeah.
Build a mental picture.
which
Right.
it literally
Yeah, yeah.
is just a Japan, but it's a nicer, very gay friendly Japan. All the novels have gay characters.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I was showing Casey, but I got the sequel to a novel, that adventure we might run off of this first book, but it's on the second book of it. But I just wanted to be so deep in the lore instead of history. So then, when you guys step into it, I'm stepping in also. And yes, like I said before, like I felt like a lot of what I've been playing is, the world feels dead, and I'm trying to. I want to bring back the world, and I've talked to Ben about it because his world is perfect to what it is.
Right.
Yeah, he's. I'm literally talking. He's literally across the room.
Yeah.
But he is like. His is everyone's fucking desperate and everyone's doing their own thing. So the world is pretty isolated from each other on purpose.
Mhm.
While there's other games that it's not supposed to be isolated, but you are anytime you would go into new situations, you're the only thing there.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
invoke the world, it'll show up. but then you don't know what to do because it's so not there.
I think that's the best way to do it because it's hard to constantly not only be like, oh, I'm running this game mechanically and thinking about where the character's doing, what they're going to do, but I also have to continually invoke the world and make it a huge presence at the table. I find it usually best when it's like the players choose when to invoke it, but you're ready. Like if they're asking, oh, what's around here? What's this place like? You're, oh, I have this and this and this. But you're not always thinking like, oh, what's the party doing? What rules do I have to use? Oh, and also, what are the peasants that are passing by thinking about right now? That's like a whole other thread.
What I would try to invoke with that, because I haven't tested it yet, is in Japan, in a lot of older civilizations, unlike us, they have like a festival every week. Almost every week. That's probably not true. But there's like, we have Talk Like a Pirate Day or something fun like that.
Right.
But imagine thousands of years of history. So every other day, some shit happened and people are celebrating it somewhere.
Yeah.
So in order to sometimes invoke that, it could be just like, hey, remember this is a specific holiday where this happened. Or I would like to describe people getting up in the morning as the samurai, and then you hear fishermen. There's fishermen around. The market's bustling. Yeah. And you don't have to always invoke it. But that, like, maybe you wake up and there's less fish in certain areas. And yes, I'm describing a lot more work.
Well, no.
But I'm trying to do in small ways. You wake up and then, like in a music sense, and you show specifics of something in order to show a broad sense.
So that was actually the entire goal behind Pitch originally. Was to try and do a game that which it's never been expressed the way I want it to. Try and do a game that operates on everyone around the table getting a general picture specifically through their own specific descriptions. Each person at the table embodying a specific sense. And so whenever you have those characters interacting in a scene, they only get descriptions based off of the sense.
Yeah, he's brutal.
It's just so high concept.
It's just brutal.
Yeah, it's so high
and
concept.
We did not know that at the time. He did not tell us anything.
I think it's fantastic.
Until later.
I've always liked that idea. It definitely would have to be its own... That's something that could definitely be its own thing.
I could see
its
that.
own box
I could
set,
see how to do
its
that.
own whole thing.
I can totally see how to do it.
Yeah. It's just, man... I feel like I keep bringing up Burning Wheel, of course, but I feel like there's a good middle ground there because the only shit that matters is what's on everybody's sheets.
Yeah.
NPCs that aren't on that sheet don't matter. Things that don't pertain to beliefs don't matter. Things that don't pertain to those skills don't matter. So it's like you have, on one hand, you kind of have elements of it's really focusing on that player perspective thing, on like how they see the world based on how they design their character and what they think about their character. Yeah. But then on the other hand, it's also creating these kind of, because that's what's cool about the holidays. And you're lucky you get to use that like extensive history in like Legend of the Five Rings. You have these encapsulated things that you could just be like, oh, it's this holiday today. Yep. And boom, you don't even, whenever they invoke stuff, you already know everything that's going on. You have a little write-up of what's going on that holiday. You don't even need to think much about that. It's just like, bam, it's here, right? And so it's nice to have that encapsulated, like beliefs encapsulate that. They like take, this like, okay, now here's this little thing you need to put into the world as a part of the world. It's like, okay, bam. I know what I need to do. It's not like, oh, fuck, I got to come up with this raw.
Well, I think we talked about before really is hard. How Burning Wheel automatically does it with, like you're saying, is if your character has a skill in fisherman, that has to be in the world.
It's super important.
So every character is thinking about their career, and then people have to exist for that career to happen. Mm-hmm. And some careers need 10 other careers to exist.
That's it. That's
so
also
it populates it very quickly. Fifth edition is I'm just killing people. But I thought, like we talked about this before, is that Burning Wheel, it forces you to invoke the world because, you're a fisherman. Guess what? That means there's people that make boats. There's people that make nets. Yeah. Everything about fishermen is now existing.
And you got to, and it's like, let's say you got to buy a boat. Well, you got to have a resources roll. You don't have the resources. You got to get a loan from someone. You fail in the circles roll to find the person to get the loan, and now you have a debtor who hates you.
It does really well with that.
And now you understand the difficulty of what it is trying to write a goddamn book because you're like, all right, the character stands up from their bed and goes over to the door, and they put their hand on the doorknob and... how tall is the bed and how would the beds look in? Who makes the doorknobs? fuck, who?
Right, but a lot
What
of that,
shape are the doors here?
Yeah.
but a lot of that's not
That's why I
necessary,
can't
too.
do that
How
anymore.
how far
Yeah.
away would the beds be? Would this be just this room, or is this every room? Because then the next scene, you've got someone climbing into a window onto a bed. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
If you don't think of it ahead of time, then you have a lot of rewriting
Then
to do when your
you've got
room
this
doesn't make any
person.
fucking
They've
sense.
got a
yeah.
poor bed. That's original. What's the difference in the beds?
But I would say
Does the
most
same type of
most
person
stuff
make the bed?
ignores that
Right.
still. Even sci-fi stuff completely ignores that for most part. It's the expression through characters in which it's invoked.
I think it is interesting. That's true, but I think it is interesting in writing where you can establish, and that's why. Luckily, Burning Wheel is a completely it doesn't matter where things are in the world or how things are positioned or anything like that, because even though it's very mechanically intense, it is very narrative driven. But if you design the room when your character wakes up, then you have someone sneak into that room, and you said things earlier that you didn't realize now dictated the shape and size of that room that makes him climbing into the room ridiculous.
Right.
It's like, fuck.
But if you describe a character waking up in any kind of story, you're not going to be describing 10 layers of the bed frame. You're going to be just saying he wakes up.
As long as they're in a typical world, because you have that authority, you have that privilege to be able to assume that your reader understands exactly what a room is like, and you do not have to take the time to specify that it is any different, because by not doing so, you're also entrusting, hey,
you're implying.
as far as you need to be concerned, this is a normal room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't.
When you then start trying to create buildings that are 20,000 fucking feet under the sea, in a volcanic air pocket, things get a bit different.
But you could but people will, in an apocalypse, will naturally gravitate to what they've known before. That's what part of your story is.
It is.
That's a huge part of your story, which was that although the situations changed, we're trying to grasp onto the last bit of life we knew.
Yes.
And so a lot of that would still be implied.
It
by the
is,
story.
but the thing is, by a focus on that story, that which is completely whole and mundane and thus wouldn't need to be described is rare and is really treasured. So everything that's left is trying to mimic what it looked like before, but can never exactly look like it still has qualifiers that are
but
important to distinguish it specifically for the reason that you
But to
suggest.
the audience, it's not. Because as a character, they're already used to it. I mean, isn't it your character? That character was several generations in.
It depends.
So
that's
that
why I have
point-
3 different characters. From
Right. But at that
generational
point,
perspectives.
it would have been, yes, the outliers would be, for the audience, hey, that's really weird stuff, but not to the main character.
Not to the main character.
So you would only bring it about if the character remembers connections to the past that they're trying to invoke.
Yes.
So you would not have to talk about the bed frame. You would talk about the bed frame if the character thinks it's important to them.
That's true.
So it's connection to the character, not 10 pages of IKEA furniture.
But no one's talking about 10 pages of IKEA furniture.
Well, you
Taking
described
one
that you're
example.
getting IKEA furniture for Notebook, and that, hey, everyone, it's assembled way weird. You need to know how it's assembled.
Well, I think the way I read what Casey was saying is that, and if we're comparing, what I was saying with Burning Wheel is that I don't ever have to worry about anything about boats, how a boat looks, how a boat acts, unless someone has a boat skill and then starts making a challenging test against it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we got to make up something challenging about boats.
and that's the strength of the
but
kid. That's the strength of the
but
kid.
in a book, you it's true. You don't have to talk about boats ever if it ever comes up. But the problem in a book, which does have to be narratively insular and complete, and doesn't have mechanics that can kind of narrativize out some of these things, you could just be like, all right, it's just a normal bed, and then 50 pages later you realize that can't be a normal bed. So now you have to. So there is an internal. The mechanics of Burning Wheel provide an internal consistency that when you're writing a narrative straight, you have to provide yourself. And a lot of times you don't even know until the third draft or until an editor reads it whether you even have maintained that internal consistency. Because it's 600 pages of just all this fucking shit, and you think you got everything. You think, oh, people know what a bed is, and then the editor's reading it and is like, well, that doesn't make any sense. That's a dumb bed. And you're like, well, fuck, that has implications of beds
Well, that's
throughout
why-
the rest of the story. You know what
Were
I
you
mean?
going to say something first?
It seems like you are.
Oh yeah, I am.
It's the reason why that you discover themes like in movies, when you're writing movies, directing movies, you discover themes and stuff after. Like you write it and stuff, everything, and then you're able to pick the through line. So it's the same sort of thing where you don't even necessarily know the themes of your book until you're done sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then that has grave impacts on the internal consistency of your book, which with Burning Wheel, it's just dice and tests. That's the internal consistency.
Right.
You know?
And I would respond to that, which I have right now.
Do you want to do it right now, or do you want to immediately start?
Oh, we can take a break.
So we'll keep it in your head. I want to make sure you don't forget it, and we'll come in guns.
Dude, I'm like the
next
contrarian
episode.
right now because I have responses for everything.
Wow.
I can't wait.
I'm the response man.
I can't wait.
Your mind is a response.
Your
Mine
mind
is a response.